On this episode of the Mind Body Beauty Show, I talk natural movement with the wild fitness adventurer, Jade de Valle. Hey everyone, welcome to Mind Body Beauty, helping you feel happier in your own skin. I'm Crystal, creator of Ecology Skincare, and today I'm going to be talking with Jade de Valle from Adventure PT, all about moving naturally for your health, your happiness, and for your skin. Welcome, Jade.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming.
No worries.
Now, Jade is an exercise scientist, personal trainer who's broken out of the box, and she trains her clients in the great outdoors here on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula. Using body weight and natural surroundings as props instead of gym equipment, I've found myself climbing trees, hanging off branches, and commando crawling up hills while training with Jade. And it's a lot of fun.
That was just today.
Now, Jade is all about connection, curiosity, and adventure, and especially connecting our minds with our bodies and connecting our whole selves with our natural environment. So how did you come to be a wild fitness trainer?
Well, the wild fitness part came a little later, I guess, as the more name side of it. It was just natural movement was always how I trained myself. I always like to go outdoors and play and explore. So my love of the body and how it moves and how it functions then took me to study it within university. So I studied a sports science degree, but that was very much more lab-based and a lot more controlled. So it was after I did the degree that I went to the UK and I did a wild fitness trainers course. And that was really cool because all of a sudden my crazy behaviours that I just like to do in my own time had a little bit more sense and a bit more structure to it. So I thought, awesome, I can bring that structure now, but also free movement. And then as soon as I got back, I think it was 2 weeks later or something, I started up my own business and started Adventure PT and thought I can bring that to my clients.
Yeah, and it's awesome because it's so different. You know, we're so used to thinking, you know, when we exercise, we go to the gym or we go to an aerobics class, and so you're bringing something totally different to it, which is
kind of.
Cool.
I mean, that's such a modern thing that we've brought in is gyms and things. Like really, that's such a small part of what exercise has been. And before that, it has just been free. It's been about play. It's been about just exploring and just doing what you love and finding things that you do enjoy and keeping at it, learning new skills, finding ways to challenge yourself, just being outside. So you do that as a kid and then you should be able to do that growing up as well. But I guess everything has to be routine these days. And so that's where I guess more gyms come in and more of a structure and a time and place to do it. Yeah,
and we've kind of lost the art of play as we get older.
Yeah, which is really sad. No one's really silly anymore. So you're looked at a little bit crazy, I guess, if you're doing anything outside the square. But really it's just, I guess it's the best way to learn. It's the best way to learn about yourself, and it's the best way to learn how to adapt with your environments and how to react with people as well, how to interact, which is cool. So the more connected we are, I guess, by being outside the square, the more we can connect with each other, is what I think anyway.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. And I guess it would make you more mindful in general as well.
Definitely. And that's a big part of what I do is that mindfulness and connection with by connecting to the environment, you can then create a relationship with it. And I hope that when people do work out, that they do start to become more connected with where they are and wanted to protect their natural surroundings as well, so we can keep that growth and keep our beautiful places beautiful. And by connecting with that, by caring about something, that then translates to yourself, and you can care about yourself and inwards as well a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, which is so important.
Yeah.
A lot of us, somewhere along the way, we sort of lose that self-care, self-love component.
Yeah, it's really sad. We're all very much, so disconnected that, we're in our phones and we write a status to express our feelings rather than just feeling our emotions and feelings. And even just, when it comes to love, like questioning so much and asking your friends or Googling how you feel rather than just just being with it.
Yeah.
My necklace says just be.
Yeah,
just
nice.
feel.
Yeah. So Jade, what are some of the mistakes that we can make, when we're sort of thinking about that whole exercise piece? What are some of the mistakes that we can make in how we approach exercise or training?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I think is speeding things up. We're living such rush lives that we can then bring that rush life into how we move as well. And that's really, that adrenaline never stops in that way. So you're constantly getting those stress hormones just rising and rising from that life to then, to your movement. And then when things are rushed, your body's not able to as naturally moving into the function that it's supposed to be doing. We're not thinking about what we're doing, and therefore we can get more injured if it's all speeded up. So being able to really breathe through a movement, being able to be mindful of what's going on mentally, physically, everything touching as well, we can actually perform that skill better. So taking it back a step as well, I think we skip ahead. So being so focused on the end goal, we can actually kind of miss out on that cool process and experience that does come with getting to that place. And that can be translated again in just your everyday life. And that's movement. It is life. And so everything will connect and translate and come back to yourself and your body. So skipping ahead, first, I think we have to regress to progress. So going back to basics, going back to the fundamental movement basics and not forgetting it either. So once you do perfect that skill, you can then challenge yourself and you can move on to maybe heavier weights or move on to more of a speed component, but then remembering where it came from and being able to always come back a little bit. So as if like a tree has its roots. If the tree forgets its roots, then no longer it can stand. And that's the same thing with us, I think.
I think one of the very first sessions I did with you, we did some rolling over and some crawling and then squatting. So all those really basic movements that we sort of have to progress through as toddlers and then children. Yeah,
exactly. And I'll always come back to children and their those basic moves for us. And that's usually how I'll start a session as well, is crawl, start with the earth, start to feel, and then move to standing and start with the breath as well. I think that's what we did in the workshop. So,
which was great.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
glad you enjoyed
big
it.
Mindful movement. So what are some of the other mistakes that we can make?
Well, I guess those are the biggest ones. The other is to forget, I guess, other people and forget yourself. A lot of the time, I guess, working out in gyms, I mean, you do have that connection with people. I do really enjoy the group aspect about gyms and being able to see maybe perhaps a person that is doing something that you'd really like to do.
Yep.
And then, because we have that competitive side in us.
Yes.
So you want to get there and then that's going to help push you. So I really like that. But that can also be done in your natural environment as well, I think. And that's why I'm trying to create by doing some more group stuff at the moment, which is really exciting. So within a gym, you're really focused on one thing. And that's really great. As I said, it's sports science. You have the lab setting and it's a controlled environment. So when you are just trying to focus on one thing, that's a brilliant place to be. But by being so internally focused, we then lose the ability to be able to adapt to what's naturally happening around us, which is natural changes in the environment, rain, wind. A tree could fall, a bird may come past, a kangaroo will jump by. So we have to be able to adapt to these things because that's life.
Yeah,
so
uneven ground.
And driving a car even, like your reaction time, I think when we're being so internally focused can lose out in the end. And that's not going to be great for being able to, within a workplace, being able to think outside the square. So being able to progress in your workplace. But within a car, reaction time's not going to be faster. You think, everything's going to be the same all the time. And so we're not going to change. So being able to work out naturally it's what's happening naturally as well. So we're always changing as people.
Yep.
We're always growing. And so with our growth, our skills can adapt, and we can be challenged, I think, more by working out more in a outdoor environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some awesome benefits there to getting outside and
Definitely.
playing and challenging yourself.
Definitely. And huge thing for me is like just mental health as well with being outdoors. So as soon as you're outside, I mean, so many studies and research coming out these days of just how more calm we feel and how relaxed and happier that you can be when you're outside. So yeah, that's a really important thing for me and what I try and bring to my clients as well. So giving them, I think when you're exercising, for me it's always been an escape, and it's been a way to relax and to retreat. And I think for an hour, that anyone that comes and does train adventurous PT style or just goes out on your own outside, it should be your time, and you should be able to completely escape from whatever stresses, whatever obligations you have in your normal day-to-day life, and just feel as if you are on a holiday. And completely experience everything that's around you, everything that you're touching and everything that you're doing, and feel great. Yes, you've had a workout, but also feel at ease within yourself as well.
Yeah. And you've just recently spent some time in Japan, where it's the home of nature bathing, or Shinrin-yoku. So did you get immersed into sort of their thoughts on that while you were there?
Yeah, one thing I loved so much about Japan was hanami. So being able to they have holidays and festivals about flower viewing, and I just think that's amazing.
Wow.
So they'll actually set up, and you'll have it in the middle of Tokyo in a park, to put down mats under the cherry blossoms and have a few beers with your workmates. They're in suits and things. So the first time I went past that, I asked my friend, who was another guy, I said, they look a bit too suave to be homeless. I don't understand. And he said, no, like after work, they all come and they have beers and they sleep over on a mat to watch, to see the cherry blossoms through evening and then through the morning, and then go off to work the next day.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Just the use of their space is amazing. They don't take for granted any space.
Yeah.
So within parks, within like large ovals, you'll see people playing baseball. There'll be dance groups, all kinds of dance groups as well. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Jump rope. There's all these random things that we just don't really do anymore here, I think. Like you can so easily go to a playground or an oval and no one is there. It's always deserted, and it's so sad. Whereas there, everyone's playing. And one of the biggest things is the grandparents playing with the younger kids, those generations. So grandparents teaching the youngest usually how to act and how to grow, and rather than the parents doing that. So generally the parents are more at work, and it's the grandparents that kind of have that role, which I think is really beautiful. Yeah. But at the same time, as much as it was really busy, there were so many times where I could just go away 15 minutes in Kyoto and be up in a mountain and be the only one there. So you can always find places of complete solitude as well, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
Especially being a tour guide when I was in Japan, I needed solitude.
Yeah. When you were talking about how, when you get out in nature, it reduces the amount of stress that we feel. And that's, that's one of the big benefits for exercise is it burns through our stress hormones and releases our endorphins, helps us feel good. And the better we feel, the less inflamed our skin is going to look as well. So, not only is movement great from a general health perspective, but it's also fantastic for healthy looking skin. It, increases our blood circulation. It helps to get oxygen and nutrients to the surface of the skin. And they're often end of the line in terms of getting those nutrients and getting the oxygen, and it can really slow down, wound healing if we're not getting that blood flow going. You've spoken about some of the benefits of exercising in nature and playing and getting out and about. What are some of the ways that we might be able to incorporate some of these things into our daily lives?
Yeah, well, all of what I do is about creating accessibility, and for my clients to be able to see movement as something that they can do whenever and wherever they are. So that's the reason that they can be active in their lives all the time, is because they can actually. So wherever you are, there's always a possibility to move. So you could just be in the bathroom, brushing your teeth, standing on one leg, or doing squats.
That was my homework for this week.
That was your homework, exactly. I remember backpacking and being in confined spaces and just doing like a wall sit every now and then, just because I need to, or studying and being in a squat position, or I've had to work within a workplace, office lately, so using my wheelie chair to be able to create some a few little challenges for some abdominal work or some lunges. But as soon as you step outside, you have an entire playground, an entire gym, if you like, to play with. So whether it be using, we did today, leaves, so picking leaves, or picking roots of trees to be able to hop to, or to be able to jump to. So creating that precision jumping and things for your brain to then to grow, or to be able to see a park bench and how many things you can do just by maybe push-ups, or some tricep dips, or flexibility work, just using a grass patch to crawl around in, to roll around in, to just to play with movement. I was asked by my a client yesterday of how I think of some of the things that I get her to do, and I just said, well, generally it's just me mucking around. So I'll and especially lately, I've been going through a couple of different injuries. I fell off a horse, I was in a car accident, all these little things that can mess up your body a little bit. So that's been able to make me super mindful of what's going on, and all of a sudden I can't do as much as I wanted to. So I would run all the time. I'm a surfer, so I surf all the time. I like to climb trees, and I like to rock climb, but I haven't been able to do those things. So as I said earlier, going back to basics, and that's how I've really been able to progress with my recovery, is regressing completely. So to be able to be active every day, it's to be able to open your eyes to what's around you. So are you walking down the street looking at your phone and perhaps not seeing a person, perhaps not seeing an opportunity to learn, to interact? And I think that's maybe the meaning of life in a way, I guess. When you're born to learn and to experience and to explore. And I think if you wake up every day and decide that today is a brand new day and I'm going to see it as if I've been reborn again and I know nothing, then that's the best way to live a healthy and active life, because you're going to be able to see a lot more opportunity, whether that be within your body and movement, or whether that be just by chatting to a new friend or saying hi, not being scared. We live a lot in fear and are too scared to lift our eyes and lift our heads and speak up and or do something that we've never done before. So go trapezing or try a new sport or whatever it may be. Don't live in fear. Understand your body and understand that it is really smart and it's all connected. Mind, body, soul, everything is going to play a role to help you grow and to keep you safe. So that if you go out of balance, if the wind blows a little bit and you're falling, your body, it knows. Trust in your body to correct itself. So explore.
And when you say, contact with other people, you've been looking into the benefits of touch and skin contact too lately, haven't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I'm sure with ecology, you know a lot more than me. I'm really just kind of scraping at the surface a little bit with this at the moment and the research that I've been going into. But I found it very, very interesting. I've been listening to a few podcasts on neuroscience and being able to self-heal, especially going through injuries. I've looked at a lot meditation for me, but also being able to touch the areas of pain and what changes happen when I do that. The skin is our largest organ. So it's going to play a huge role on our body and our physiological, psychological responses. So, but we kind of skip it a little bit. And so what I've been seeing in the research that has been done is just, those hormonal responses that happen just by having interaction with other people, by a hug, especially. So being able to, just by giving a simple hug can reduce stress levels, giving you that calmness, making you feel happy, making you feel loved, I guess, in a way, and wanted. And we're always searching, I think, for that touch and that interaction. So what I've seen more so as well is in people looking, if they're injured, going for a massage or going to the doctor. They want to be touched. People want some kind of interaction. And that's really interesting because massage is a way of healing. So just with the hands, well, is it just getting into those pressure points, or is it the actual act of touching that can calm us and to heal that area as well? Is it just bringing the that blood flow to the area? So looking at the skin and what happens in terms of color, in terms of maybe acne reaction, what's going on in your life that is causing that response to the skin. So people sometimes say you can look in the mirror and see one body, for instance. So especially, I've been a little bit unwell lately, so feeling a little bit skinny, being able to see muscle definition, does that mean I'm healthy? No. Or if someone's overweight, yet so strong. I've seen a lot of my friends who maybe are a bit larger, but very, very fit people. So our outside appearance doesn't necessarily mean that we're healthy inside, but our skin and that its response will show you and mirror, I think, more so what's going on internally rather than perhaps a fat percentage.
I totally agree.
So is your face inflamed or anything? What's going on, and how can we treat it? So often this poor sun gets a bad rep, yet everyone's low in vitamin D apparently lately. So is it the sun that's making our skin inflamed, or is it perhaps the stressed lifestyles that everyone seems to be living? What are we looking deep enough, I guess, and perhaps deep enough, not just skin surface. So that's kind of what I've been interested in lately is the healing side of touch, but also the hormonal response of interaction, self-interaction, but also social interaction and natural interaction with your environment as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm always as I said, you can always learn more.
So, Jade, what can people find themselves doing when they come and train with you? Tell us about what you get up to with Adventure PT.
Well, it's it does depend, I guess, on the client. It does always change. And I do really try and pride myself on that to be really individualized to my client. But I guess on a general basis, I'm going to look at first the person, their goals, and then within their goals, what location would be best. So I work with All Parks Victoria Land. So looking at their goals, pick the location, work out what's happening with the weather, which is really cool because I kind of wanted to be a weather girl when I was young, so I can incorporate everything. I also wanted to be on Getaway, so I've been a tour guide, and I like to give each other, my clients, a day holiday. So day holiday or an hour holiday. Yeah. And then with the location, you get to play with it. So depending on the person, where they're at with their body, how challenging it's going to be, whether I'm going to do more of an assessment kind of training, whether they're looking for more strength-based, whether they're looking for more of cardio-based, whether they're looking for something more flexibility or stress-related, to maybe incorporate some more meditation or just taking shoes off to be able to relax the body. So that being a huge thing, going back to touch as well. I've always worked with the feet especially, and try and get my clients to take their shoes off as much as possible to feel. So that's your first point of contact. So being the messages coming to the brain, and then your body being able to react from that. So within a training session, we do take our shoes off sometimes. And I do try and promote it at least, a couple of times, or at least once within a session. But then we explore. So is there rocks to be played with if we're looking for more weight resistance? Are we running? Are we walking? Are we using birds, using trees for markers and things? We're using each other in the more group stuff. So trying to do some more team building, more play. I play games. We play games, which is really cool. So it's all about, just what movement you can do outside, and being able to show my clients how accessible these are and how they can benefit their bodies. So I guess
awesome.
I hope that answered the question. It's random. Adventure PT is random, but it's fun.
So where can we find you?
In Parks Vic. So I'm based in Frankston, but you can visit my website. It's www.getfitadventurept.com.
Awesome.
So I do try and keep that up to date. I also have a Facebook page, so Facebook/Adventure Personal Training. I'm on Instagram, Adventure Personal Training. Twitter, I don't know how to use it, but I'm on Twitter. And then generally, you can call. And that's the best way to contact me, is using any of those places. Otherwise, I'm kind of everywhere. But I'll use land from Frankston all the way to Portsea. So no matter where you are on the peninsula, if you're peninsula-based and want to train, then we have the whole place to play with and to explore. Or if you're not peninsula-based and you're looking at more of a tourism side, I really try and keep more active tourism as well with Adventure Personal Training. So maybe you're wanting to see the peninsula but do it in a more active style. So city-based, internationally based, wherever you are, I can tailor sessions for you as well. So
Very cool. Nice.
It's fun.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for joining us today and coming and sharing your knowledge.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me, Crystal.
That's okay. And thank you everyone for joining us for Mind, Body, Beauty. If you like this episode, please subscribe so you can have future episodes coming straight to you. And, like, share, comment below. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you do to get yourself moving naturally. And we'll see you again next time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.